Good morning, Arima community. So I might be saying good morning again to some of you because we started and then we lost signal, so we're starting over. And that is what happens when we're out live. That's what happens when we're live. So that's fine. As my grandmother used to say, all that in the 25 cents. So this cafe conversation we're having in the veranda of the ancestral home of Melba Madeira, wife of the late legendary icon Jones P. Madeira. Mm-hmm. And because I learned from my elders, I'm here because last episode we interviewed your cousin, Holly Betonia Jr. And Holly shared with us, Junior was sharing with us how Holly took Scouting for Talent out in the community. Mm-hmm. And we are the Arima Community Café, so we are out in the community of Arima. And I have to tell you, Miss Melba, I have lived in the Arima, in the environs, since 1982, and I've always wanted to come into this house.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome.
Also, thank you for having us. Thank you for having us. This conversation is really to build appreciation for our history, for the history of Arima. There is so much in our past, and this is the past of, of the community of Arima. Hearing somebody shouting, Melba.
Yeah.
So Miss Melba, you're used to that, right?
Yes.
Yes?
She's a neighbor from down the road.
Ah, that is fantastic.
And she passes to go to bet in the racing pool.
Oh!
So she calls me out every time she goes up, and she passes and she calls me again, and she's going back.
That is fantastic.
And then when she wins, she don't
come and share with you.
No, she wouldn't come and share, but she has to go home.
She shares the greetings
every day.
Fantastic.
Several times a day.
So what is so important is really, I think, there is joy in the lessons that we can learn.
Yes.
Right? That we can learn from our elders, that we can learn from our history. And because it is what shaped us. To my left, I have to introduce again, and she's closing her eyes. We have Leslie Ann, who is Miss Melba's cousin. But Leslie is just here for moral support. So you will see her smiling and nodding, and she might give us a little hint or two. But she'll start talking and she wouldn't even realize it. She'll join the conversation. So, Miss Melba, we were talking before. I had asked you how long you lived here. And you said 74 years.
74 years.
And I also asked you to tell us a little bit of when you met your husband, Jones, and what did you share with me?
Well, Jones lived on our left. When I was about 5 years old, when he had moved in here, they were living in a very big old house there. And then after moving from there, a lady who was living next door to us, Miss Elaine Miranda, decided that she wanted to adopt him.
She wanted to adopt him?
She wanted to adopt him. So she took him.
Wait, so just to get this clear, because I know this was a fairly common thing in long ago, yes? So he lived on this side.
Yes. And
Miss Elaine lived on that side, and she wanted to adopt him.
Yeah.
So she took him.
Yeah, she took him.
Lovely.
Because she had one son who was a doctor in Canada.
Yes.
And she was alone there. Yes. And then she took another old man, Toussaint Père. I don't know if anybody would remember that name.
Père?
Toussaint Père.
Toussaint Père.
She took Toussaint to live with her too. So Toussaint was living in the back, and Jones was living in the house with her. Jones was living in the attic, and she was downstairs. So I knew Jones from that side, from 5 years old.
Since you were 5 years?
Yes.
Wow.
So we just grew up together.
Long time love affair. A lifetime love affair.
I married for 53 years.
Oh, wow.
But it was good. It was good. And the thing about it is that we all loved each other so much. The whole neighborhood. You see, the girl just passed and she said hello.
Yes.
The Chewings who lived in the corner there, they lived there for more than 100 years.
Wow.
That mango tree you see there is more than 100 years old, and that building is also more than 100 years old.
So where you're pointing? You're pointing to the corner next to...
At the corner of Broadway and Cokereet Road.
Broadway and Cokereet Road. Okay. That's where the commissioner of affidavit is? That
no,
building?
they're on the other side of the road.
On the other side of the road.
Yeah.
Okay,
They-
okay, where the bar is.
Where the bar is.
All right, yes, yes.
So they have lived there for more than 100 years.
That is incredible.
His family, they had a lot of children, and they used to live in the loft, which was beautiful. It was a nice place to go and play.
Yes.
And we used to go across and play, and they would come over here and play, and everybody would play. The
Yes.
street was also not even paved.
Yes,
The
I can
street
well
was
imagine.
how you call it, rubble.
Yes. Yes.
And Jones and they would build a go-kart, as they would call it, and give each other rides on the
Up
street.
in the street.
Yeah.
So tell me, Miss Melba, what did here look like? So I can share with the community where I'm sitting. I can see the Hilo car park, and there I can see the building. What is that building
Mirage.
again? Mirage there. So when you sat here at 5 years old, or in your teen years, tell me what you saw.
Bush. There was Mr. Lianis who lived in the corner where the front of Hilo is.
Uh-huh.
He was a dentist.
So you said Hilo, which is Massey for
Massey
the younger
stores.
generation. That's
Yes,
Massey stores.
yes.
I know Hilo too. I grew up around the corner from a Hilo.
And Mr. Lianis had all of this land here in pigeon peas and cane.
Wow.
He had
Wow.
a stall inside there that he used to squeeze cane. And on a Saturday, he would tell everybody, come at your buckets, we're squeezing cane, we're cutting cane, we're getting
So
cane
he wasn't
juice.
selling this.
No. Everybody would come with their buckets. He would tell everybody in the street and say, and they would come with their buckets and help him cut and squeeze cane. So everybody went home with a bucket of cane juice. If it was pigeon peas, he would say, all right, we're picking pigeon peas on Saturday. And everybody would come home with 2 bags of pigeon peas. And that was for free. And Mr. Lianis lived there for years until he found a lady. I don't know if he got married to her or what. And they built a little house right in the car park.
Uh-huh. Oh, right.
Which eventually became the PNM's office in Arima.
Okay.
But that house remained there for quite a while, and then the Olivers came to move into here, to further down the street, because I think there was a river that used to run to
A river.
a river
Where did that pass?
it used to pass under the dial, because that was what was turning the dial for it to move.
Oh, right.
And it came out and went into
Okay,
this
so I think I
valley.
remember a bit of that history because the
Yes.
dial, there was like a water wheel or something
Yes,
there at the
yes,
time.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
I think I remember that.
And
history.
that water went under here through the big canal there, and that joined up in another river in the back.
Right.
If rain came, where Oliver and they live there now, there was an old man we used to call Aladdin Kokodashi.
Let me hear you say that again.
Aladdin Kokodashi.
Aladdin Kokodashi.
Kokodashi,
Okay.
And he lived in a little house, a little hut there. And as soon as the rain started to fall, the river would raise. And we had Jones and all of them would go around to help him move out all his things so that the river wouldn't wash him down.
away.
And after that, they went back and helped him back again. Over the river, you had a whole lot of land, which was in those trees, not coconut, but some sort of tonka bean trees.
Ah,
A whole lot of tonka bean trees, and you had that gentleman who lived there was minding a lot of cows and horses. So you had a whole farm there.
yes.
And we hardly had streets that were paved.
Right. Yes, of course. Yes.
Fafa Street was one of them,
Uh-huh.
where Lisa Morris lived.
Yes.
I was born in
Rest
Lisa's house.
yes. So you lived in that
I
house?
was born there.
Wow.
And then we used to pass through Miss Liani's lands and come through here to build the bricks for this house. And the man who built this house is Mr. Hollinsworth, who lived at the corner.
Hollingsworth.
Hollinsworth, Lamy Hollinsworth, I think is his name. And we used to come from school, and my sisters would help him to build the bricks outside to build this house.
So how many siblings?
We
you
had
have?
8 of us. I was the last, and I was a long way past everybody.
Ah.
But
So you were the last. Now my husband's mother, my mother-in-law, was the last, and they were sort of like Spanish Carib sort of thing, and so they called her Sinky. because Sinky meant the last. But then, but then she had somebody after. So you were actually Sinky because you were the last.
Yes, yes. Yeah, but it was good living here, and I mean living in Fafa Street was beautiful. Really,
Yes.
it was, because we had a big duck pond, and I used to bathe in
So
there
I'm
with the
trying to
ducks.
imagine. I'm trying to imagine Papa Street like that.
Oh
with that
Lord,
pond.
beautiful, beautiful. Hardly anybody lived there. Mr. Dalil lived next door there, and then next door to us. But my mother built a big duck pond, and we used to mine lots of ducks, and I would bathe in there with the ducks.
Wow.
And when that house was burnt, or it was burning, I actually had to go over and look.
You had?
To go over and look.
Ah, yes.
But I went into my sister's house, which is next door to it,
Yes.
and looked at it burning. But it was sad to see it
Yes.
burn.
Yes.
And then, well, you couldn't hear Lisa, and Lisa was already inside, but it was sad. It was
Yes.
very
God
sad.
rest their souls. Yes.
What
So-
again do we talk about?
So-
then Mr. Liani's built this house. The PNM office was there, and then eventually George Harid decided to come and buy that land to build
Okay.
to build massive, to build highly,
yes. Build high low at the time. Yes.
I think his cousin Steve, who was who, he and his cousin bought the place, and they started to build up highly. Otherwise,
And where did you go to school?
I went to Arima Girls Art School first.
How long has the Arima Girls House been there then?
I don't know, plenty years.
Plenty years.
Yes.
And Jones.
Jones went to Boys Art School too.
Okay.
And then...
So I'm imagining, did you all walk to school together?
No.
So
He was his own pal with Nolan Rodriguez and the rest of the boys and the Chewing Boys. They would all go to school together. But
Right.
I went to school by myself.
You went to, right. So when did you all become friendly then? When did the love spark occur?
That was 20 years ago. I can't remember.
At what age?
but it was
So when you
about
looked at him and he became more than a neighbor.
23, 24.
For real?
Yes. We used to talk and go out to
Yes.
parties and so together, but about 23, 24. That was the time that the spark hit. And we got married at 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had Melanie at 26 in England.
Yes. How many children do you all have together?
3.
Nice. Nice.
2 girls and a boy.
And a boy. Yes. And I know that one of the girls lives with you.
Melanie lives
Yes,
with me.
Melanie lives. Yes.
Laurelie lives in Malabar. And Justin lives in Malabar area too.
Yes.
No, Little Lands.
Yes. Yes.
But Arima was nice. Arima was always so nice. There are so many things that you could like about Arima that
Like, so when I moved into, we'll talk about it, when I came to the community center, so even though I've been in Arima and its environs for so many years, it was only until I came to the center that people started telling me about Jarim.
okay.
And then I remember that, how your memory comes back. That you remember on I think when Holly had
That was
he would
Holly.
do
That was Holly's
his
thing.
patois, he would say Jarim,
that was Holly's
and
thing.
you understand that is
Arima
Arima people.
Arima people.
Arima people. So you are Arima people from the
Yes.
very beginning.
Beginning.
Right? From the
Yes, yes.
beginning. So tell me a bit about the other Arima people that you and Jones became friendly with.
The chewings in the corner.
Right, the chewings.
Yeah. Roland Ransomer and his son. Well, they're now married. The boy lives in Texas, I think. Roland. Well, the chewings used to be close to us. Raymond Chukong.
Yes. God rest his soul as well. He
yeah.
lived not too far from here.
Yeah, live just 2 streets away. And the people across the road, Broadway stores, and Jude Bitude was Holly's family too. June lived in the corner up the road. June,
Yes.
We went to school together too. We went to convent together because we had convent in Arima. And
Where was the convent in Arima?
up in Torres Hilaire Estate.
Okay,
it's still
so
there.
it's
It's
still
the
there.
Emir
Emir
Centre.
Yes.
And
But wait, that's quite a walk. How did you
Yeah.
get there?
walk through there was not a bridge. there were two planks of wood that went from one street side of the river to the other, and we walked across those
From here
planks.
to Torresella.
Yeah, to school. We went over the two planks of wood with the hope that the horses or the cows wouldn't come. And we went over and we went to school, and eventually a bridge was built. But we went across beautifully on those planks of wood. Nobody
Yes.
bothered us.
Yeah.
And when the floods came, we had to wash the school out because the river would rise.
So the planks of wood were over the river.
Yeah, just over from one part of the wall, the earth, one part of
Yeah,
the
so the
soil
river
to
back
the
to
other
the
part.
other.
Yes.
Right. So when the rains came and the river
Rose.
rose,
You had to stay in school and wait until it went down. So, but then we used to walk around. Sometimes we walk around, but we would walk in groups. So, sorry, that nobody ever bothered us.
yes. So you went to Girls RC and Jones the
Went
boys.
to Boys
right?
RC, yeah.
So what was the church like then? Because I'm assuming you were both Catholic.
Yeah.
What was it? What was the church like at that time?
It was the same thing. Well, of course, it's been modernized now. And there was a presbytery at the back in a little old house. What was it?
Was the park always there opposite the
The
church?
park was there, but it was maintained. So it was just bush, and salmon trees and that sort of thing.
Yes.
I have a picture. Juzan has a
Yes,
picture.
we'll look at it after.
Yes. And but we just went and played in the park if we wanted to. But with so much bush, you wouldn't get involved there. And we played in the boys' school or we played in the girls' school.
Yes.
What more? And that was
Yes,
it.
yes. So then, we look at Jones's career, right? So you were married at 25, you had the first child at 26. He was just was he always into broadcasting or did he do something before?
Yes. He started off at Piaku with the Guardian. And then he went across to broadcasting.
Yes.
Well, he'd been with TTT and with all regional broadcasters and what. Eventually, he went to the BBC.
He was right, yes.
We both went up to the BBC, and he was into radio and television in the Caribbean service.
Right, yes.
I was in English by radio and television.
You were?
Teaching English by radio and television.
Oh, so you were also on the air?
But no, I wasn't on the air. I was at the back. I like to be at the back. So I would prepare all the documents and everything for teaching English by radio and television. And you'd have film stars coming in every minute to do broadcasts, and so I would handle them and let them go. People like.
So where was this the station located?
On Regent Street in London.
Okay, right. So this was in London
In
itself,
London,
right? Because I'm thinking back. I know you did say BBC, but I'm just confusing it with something that Julia told me.
On the Strand.
Yes. So how long were you all there?
For about 3 years. For about 3 years. And then we came back home.
And then you came back here.
And I went back to university, did I? No, I left university that time. And I stayed home and saw about my children. I think I went back to university. Yes, I went back to university to work. Because I was working at university first.
Yes.
Before we got married.
Yes.
So I went back to university. And Jones continued into his broadcasting. I remained at university until I had an accident that made me a cripple.
Yes.
I fell on my 2 knees and my whole spine jolted.
Really? So you were immobile for
Totally. For more than 6 months.
Oh, what was that like?
Bad. Because I couldn't move around. I had to be on the floor with a pillow under my neck and one under my butt. And every time I had to bathe, I had to get somebody to come to help me to the bathroom. But I survived. I went up to Sandy Grande Hospital and they were excellent up there.
Still are?
Yeah.
Yes.
Best.
Yes.
I went up there and strange enough, The man who taught me to drive a tractor on the university campus was the man who lifted me off the wheelchair to put me on the bed to be explained. I say things could really happen.
Yes.
But it was good, and I was able to get up and get over again. And then I went to reforestation, national reforestation tour.
Yes.
And
How long did you work at it?
From 2002, that's the inception, to 2015.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And
Yes.
of course I was
And that's where you met Josanne.
No. Yes. Josanne was at reforestation.
Yes.
Yes.
Josanne is our assistant and our producer. Yes.
But it was good. And I'm home and most relaxed because I had to see about Jones for quite a while.
Yes.
And
So you sat and you watched the town change and transform all around you. How is it that that you decided, or was it a decision that you all made not to leave here?
well, my second daughter, Laurelie, was determined that I should leave this house, sell this house, because there was too much noise.
Yes. Yeah.
And the amount of Sahara dust, well, of course Sahara dust is now, but there was much too much noise. And this was the main street here. So you had confusion. This was a taxi stand on Green Street. And they didn't want me here. Then we had thieves coming in.
Yes, I can imagine that, yes.
A bottle of sweets I had here for children. Thieves came in and stole that. So, and then we had some people who were not of this country coming in.
Yes.
Coming in and wanted to come in to
But tell me,
invade.
why wouldn't you move?
I put the house up for sale.
You did?
Yes. And the 2 signs fell off. Which we,
The house doesn't want her to move.
and it's the only house on the block.
It is, interestingly, the house next door, or where the car park is it next door or the one after?
Where the car park is.
Where the car, so it was right next door.
Yes. That's where Jones lived too.
So that is where Jones lived, and in that house, I'm now connecting it. Like I told you, my friend,
That's where
we just said Koki,
Koki
right?
lived there.
Michelle and and her husband, they lived right there, and I visited there. So you see,
Yes.
I visited there, and that was so many years ago.
Yes.
And I have to tell Arima, I really have always wanted to come into this house. Because I love old houses, and I always wanted just the trees all around it. It's just, I think, a beautiful symbol of a reminder of a time past. And this is what is so important, these conversations that we're having. And I shared, as I shared earlier, that it is important for us, and becomes our legacy, to share with those who are to come after us, with the current generation, what it is they're working on. Basically, it's the foundation that we have built for them. I am not much for nostalgia in the sense that I don't believe in bring back the old time days. The old time days have passed, they're gone. Right? It was our responsibility, or even your responsibility. You did what you did. And our responsibility now is that we must share that with those who are here. This is their time. And I always think it's our personal responsibility. If things are not going well, it is because maybe we haven't done something. Our generation and generations past have not done enough, possibly. Or there's more for us to do to ensure. We must not look back to think that that's where we must go. And I think actually that to me is what I believe the message in the scripture about the, who is it who turned into a pillar of salt? You see, don't look back. It's not because looking back, it is simply, the lesson I believe is that it is important to look back, but you're not looking back to go back. Or even to bring the past forward. You're looking back, I think, so that you can appreciate the journey that you have made.
Yes.
And that is what these conversations are to bring. I see, if we can picture life, like all of us are looking towards, we're all moving towards a horizon. Yeah, we're all moving towards a horizon. And we see, as all of us, some of us will approach the horizon before some of us, and they would disappear. They would go over, and then they would leave us here. But ever so often, we must stop, find a vantage point, and look back at the landscape so that we can appreciate what was there, what we can appreciate the journey that we traveled. Yeah, and I like to see that as a landscape. So you have shared with us this morning the landscape of Arima and of your life. Yeah. It gave us a little window to look into a time that once was. And that brings me joy. And I hope that it brings those who are listening a little bit of joy.
I would like you to listen to that music next door.
Today?
My neighbor. Every day they play music.
Yes.
Beautiful music. Listen to them. They've started already. And that goes for the whole day. Until
Right,
later.
I'm hearing it.
Nice music.
Yes.
Not this blasé sort of thing that you have to hear. But you hear
And you can sit here in your chair and enjoy it.
And they don't play it loudly.
Yes.
Listen to it.
Yes, I'm hearing.
Beautiful. Every day. Every day.
Yes.
No noise, just that music. So it must calm you.
Yeah.
I don't know why we have people just not calm anymore.
So we talk about that. It's the importance finding some joy, right? Finding the joy and being able to sit and appreciate it.
Yes.
There's noise all around us, but like I said, we have the trees, and it is sort of kind of cushioning us a bit. You're seeing the birds flying through the veranda.
Birds will fly through every minute.
Yes, yeah.
The birds fly through here all the time.
So, Miss Melba, thank you very much for having us here this morning. Thank you, Leslie Ann, for being moral support for Miss Melba. Thank you for the orange juice and five finger sweetened with honey. Thank you. I'm going to have some puffs after. I'm definitely going to pick some five finger, carry home for the parrot and the grands.
I don't think you want to give your parrot when you taste it.
I wouldn't want to give her. Thank you. We'll take a little walk around and I'll see the breadfruit trees and so much more.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing this little bit of Arima with us this morning.
You're most welcome.
So Arima community, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And I look forward to more conversations in the community.
Yes.
Please let us know. Comment and make your comments. Let us know who else you would like us to talk with. Let us know the topics that you would like us to discuss. At the Arima Community Centre, we believe that a community centre needs to be the centre of the community. And being the centre of a community doesn't mean that we have to be immobile. We can bring it out a little bit, and we can bring the centre out into the community as we did this morning. This is how we build community. This is how we build appreciation for who we are as Jardarine.
Jardarine.
Thank you very much. And here we say goodbye and have a wonderful day. Please follow us on social. Look out for us and a wonderful weekend at arimacommunitycentre.com. We are tomorrow at the center. We have a health session on checking and understanding your numbers. So join us, please. It's understanding how to use the blood pressure devices, the diabetes devices, and how to understand that. So we're helping you take control of your health tomorrow at the community center. So join us tomorrow from 10 to 12. And that's it for us here. Have a great weekend.
Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe.
Yes.